What's going on, Tamers? It's me, guy who actually has decent lighting for a change. Go figure. So in this one, I want to do something a little bit different than what I normally do when I go to locals. So my typical process is go to locals and then play my games, and then on the way back from locals walking home, I kind of like type up on Twitter my thoughts about how my games went, if I won or lost, the deck I was using, things like that, blah, 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 blah. The issue is a lot of the times it feels like I'm limited on my character count because of Twitter, of course. And I felt like maybe a better outlet is to do this via video. Also, it's more content, right? Also, I don't think anyone else is doing something like this, and so I think it'd be an interesting topic to explore. So anyway, let's dive in. So to set the stage, this week I've been playing Yellow Vaccine. Actually, I've been playing Yellow Vaccine for quite a while now. The past couple of weeks, maybe a month and a half or so. And I think I'm finally landing on a list that I actually like, and so I decided to take the list out to locals today and see how it did. So let's talk about each of the games. So round one, I played against De-Brigade, and this guy just kept DC D-bombing my level 6s. I took an early lead with Pokemon, but over the course of the game, he kind of clawed his way back, and then the last turn, he used Supreme Connection to play Cargo Dramon. Felt it was a weird move, even though he got to play some Command Dramon down, but maybe it was just intuition, but I had a feeling he wasn't out yet, like he was planning something. So I Digivolved my level 4 into Magna Dramon Ace so I could kill off his blocker Command Dramon that he played from the Cargo Dramon, and then I went into my own Magna Dramon and then burned a security to destroy his Cargo Dramon. Then I made 3 checks for game, and later he told me that if I hadn't destroyed the Cargo Dramon, he would have gone into Mega Gargomon Ace. Intuition definitely paid off. So game 2 was against Garurumon Beelstar, and he went like dummy stupid. By turn 2, I think he had like 4 7-cost options in the trash. Even going into the match, I wasn't really sure like how I was gonna win, just because my 2 floodgates that I run, Pillowmon and Cutemon, don't really affect his game plan at all. Beelstarmon isn't played by an effect, but rather it's just play cost is reduced based on how many 7-cost options and 3 Musketeers from the trash. And yeah, I mean, right after that, he just continued to steamroll. Like, he got 2 Garurumons up and built up his trash super fast. He ended up going into a Were-Garurumon Ace, which I think may have been useful for me, but I didn't realize it at the time. I ended up using my Magna Dramon to destroy the Were-Garurumon Ace, but I completely forgot that it was an Ace card and there wasn't actually even an overflow effect, so I didn't plan my turn out with the thought that I would get memory back. And then after that, he just sets up like 2 sets of Beelstars, destroys my board, and then Nail Bones. Near the end of the game, I was trying to like dig for my Omnimon Merciful mode, and had I considered the fact that I was going to get memory back off of that Were-Garurumon Ace, I probably could have used that memory to some degree to actually like evolve a bit more and draw out, because near the end of the game I actually did find Merciful mode, and had I probably gotten maybe a turn or 2 earlier, I'd probably been in a better spot.
Snake, are you okay? Snake?
So round 3 was also against another Garurumon Beelstar, but this guy was like way more dangerous. Unlike the last deck, like this version actually runs the full Garurumon line, so level 3 all the way up to level 6. This meant that he had the option of going, I bit my lip. This meant that he had the option of either going super heavy with the Garurumon line, using like the Were-Garurumon and Were-Garurumon X antibody to unsuspend multiple times, or he could have gone into Beelstar to control the board and then like use Nail Bone like the previous person did and close out the game that way. Luckily though, I had a really amazing opening, and I got to my level 6 pretty quickly, and I even got a Gatomon off of the discard effect for my security, which is even better. To top everything off, I actually managed to choke him out with 1 memory on his turn, and he mulled over his move for a little bit, and then he noted that he was in a pretty rough predicament, but honestly, I have to applaud his decision making. He just used 7th Lightning to pop my level 6 and level 4, and the problem here is that I had an Anduomon Ace in my sources for my Magna Dramon, and the overflow kickback put me in range for a normal turn. And so he knocked down my tower, and then I thought to myself, okay, well, I think I have enough resources here to build up again, so that's exactly what I did. I ended up going into another level 6 for the turn, and only passing him 2 memory to work with. And as they say, those who don't learn history are doomed to repeat it. And yeah, he just fly blowed my level 6. And also, again, ace in sources, so I went back to normal memory for a turn. And it was around this point that I just pretty much ran out of gas. Like, most decks get to level 6 once and win the game. I got to mine twice and wasn't even able to make an impact. And from there, I remembered my lesson from last game, and I decided to try and pull out a Merciful mode from the deck, but it just didn't happen fast enough. Remember, he did run the whole Garuru chain, and so he was able to make multiple checks with his Were-Garurumon and up. The most embarrassing play of the night actually happened in this game. I was so mad at myself. I didn't even realize what I was doing. I was so like, after getting 2 level 6s destroyed, I was kind of a little tilted, I'm not gonna lie. So I played the yellow option card Revelation of Light to try and set up a potential ace to buy more time. And he let me go through the whole affair, like looking through my security, trying to find level 4. And then I put my Gatomon on the board, and then as soon as I did that, he just pointed to my Pillowmon that was right next to it. He's like, can't do that, homie. I'm like, oh my god. And then after that, like, I just completely lost the game. There was no hope of ever coming back.
お前はもう死んでいる。何？
And after that, we talked about the game for a bit, and we kind of agreed that maybe it's better against Guru Beelstar to go with a more low-cost aggro plan, focusing on things like Gatomon, Bulkmon, and Cattlemon. I also felt at this point that having all aces for level 5s, being the Magna Anjumon ace and the Anjumon ace, was kind of a detriment. Against decks that have lots of removal, which is frankly quite a bit of the stronger tier 1 decks right now, it's kind of a hindrance. So that third game didn't end out the way I wanted to, but I think I got a really good lesson from it, and so my last game was going to be against Red Hybrid, and this guy high-rolled the crap out of me. In his opening turn, he got a 4-cost Memory Tamer set and a Ukomon and Raising, and from there he just didn't let up on the gas at all. Doing the best that I could, I Digivolved into Patamon and Raising and then dropped the Kudamon for a quick search, and he immediately burnt my Kudamon to a crisp with Burning Greymon. So there goes that security check in its entirety. And once he pulled his Ukomon out of Raising, he also just set up a second Ukomon immediately right after that. The following turn, I got Emperor Greymon for 2 checks, and then he put me at 2 security. When my turn came, I managed to get an Anjumon Ace Up and a Magnetramon on top of it, and so I burned his other Digimon and lowered his Emperor Greymon's DP so I could swing over it. For folks who play Red Hybrid, then you know that killing an Emperor Greymon doesn't really solve your problem, because it lets you recycle your Tamer from trash and just play it again on the board. Next turn, he pulls Ukomon out of Raising, gets the free memory, and then goes into another Emperor Greymon I guess he had in hand. Overflow kicks in because I had the Anjumon Ace and Sources when he burns my Magnetramon to a crisp, and I died the turn after. So some of the big takeaways. I mentioned this before, but I feel like running double aces is not the move. They're pretty useful in getting rid of threats and like really creative ways, but I feel like they can be liabilities when my opponents have any sort of card removal. And we're at the point in the game where most decks have pretty decently cheap removal, especially when you use it against an ace card, considering you're going to get a refund on some of that memory. At this point, I think I should probably swap out the least useful of the 2 ace cards, that being Magna Anjumon, for something a little more aggressive, maybe like a Chirinmon, the one I think from EX5 it is. This works twofold in that I don't have a huge liability in my Digimon stacks, and also lets me be a little bit more aggressive with the deck overall. Between Bulkmon, 2 checks, Gatomon, Barrier, and Chirimon unsuspending, I think I can generate a lot of offense. So moving forward, I think I'm going to drop the Magna Anjumon Ace and then put in the Chirimon. That way I can be a bit more aggressive. So overall, not a great record that night at Casuals, although I did get to like completely like mutilate a blue Garurumon deck, like a full blue Garurumon deck. That was pretty good, but that was just a casual match, unfortunately. As of the making of this video, I go back to the States for the holiday for about 2 weeks. The day after I leave Japan, the new set, the BT16 set, drops. So I've got to pretty much finalize this deck within the next week or so. Anyway, that's my local report for this week using my yellow vaccine deck. But yeah, I've never been much of a yellow player before, so it's been kind of a breath of fresh air. I think the last time that I really heavily played yellow was back when Lord Nightmaw was making moves, and for folks who've been in the game for a while, you know that's been a long time. Also, before I go, just want to give a big shout out to all of the channel members who subscribed to the channel so far. I really appreciate you guys. If you folks out there want to become channel members as well and get early access to all of my videos, then head over to the memberships tab on my channel and check it out there. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. I'm gonna get out of here. Before you get out of here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.